If you are looking for a compact SUV with a smooth ride quality, plenty of standard tech and safety features for the money, a roomy interior and comfortable front seats, as well as a generous warranty, well, you may find yourself shopping for the 2023 version of the Hyundai Tucson. This is the limited trim level we're going to look at today. Not going to see any changes for 2023 because it was fully redesigned for 2022. And Hyundai really stepped out of their comfort zone with this Tucson, and I think they did a great job. Is it going to give you more than you pay for? Let's take a look and find out. I borrowed this Calypso Red Hyundai Tucson from my friends at Mike Morgan Hyundai here in Shreveport, Louisiana. And as you can see, the price is on the screen right now. That means none of you are going to be saying, "What's the price?" in the comments section. And taking a look here at the front end, you're going to have LED daytime running lights. And check out the design here of these daytime running lights. I've got the blinker on right there. That looks so good. You want to make sure you use your blinkers when you're driving down the road. And everything just flows here. You are going to have the headlights, which are also LED, right down here in this area. That's going to provide great lighting after dark. And the thing I like here is that everything literally flows into the front grille. The way the headlights are designed, or excuse me, the daytime running lights are designed, everything flows right here. I just love what Hyundai has done. And honestly, kudos to Hyundai, because this logo right here is not chrome. It looks perfect right here. I really think that they put a lot of good thought and effort into the overall design here. And yes, you do have a very nicely designed hood. It kind of, to some degree, mimics what you see with the front grille, with the way everything kind of has almost a V to it right here. It just matches. It looks like a Hyundai should. And here is the 235/55 tire wrapped around the 19-inch wheels. A very nice looking wheel. Again, just flowing off the design of that front grille, it matches, it just looks right. It looks sporty in that 55 series sidewall, which is going to be, in case you didn't know, this area right here. That's going to help to give that smooth ride quality that I was talking about earlier. You're going to have the power adjustable side view mirrors. Turn signal indicators are built in. You're going to have the roof rails up there. If you want to put the crossbars on, you can haul whatever you want to, or whoever you want to. If one of the kids is being unruly, or Aunt Edna, or whatever the case is, they can ride up top. You've got room up there. And then just everything right here. I love the design. You know, there is some chrome here, even though this model looks better with black in as many places as possible, but I believe the chrome here are really more of the polished aluminum. It's not chrome. Before anyone hits me in the comments section, it looks right. It's in the right place. It's the right amount. LED taillights as well. And something I really have to say back here that impresses me with Hyundai. Notice what is not here. There's no exposed rear window wiper. That's because it's neatly tucked away and hidden inside of the rear roof spoiler. And here under the hood, the 2.5-liter four-cylinder, it puts out 190 horsepower and 182 pounds-feet of torque. And for those of you who can't stand the CVT or continuously variable single-speed transmissions, single speed that is, this model has an 8-speed automatic. It's front-wheel drive, and how about those MPGs? Very important numbers here. 25 city, 32 highway, 28 combined. And Hyundai says you should use 3.6 gallons of gas per every 100 miles you drive. And to make that a little bit easier to understand, this Tucson has a 14.3 gallon gas tank. And looking from this angle at the side profile, the body lines here, I hope you can see that as well on the screen. Again, it just mimics the same design we saw on the front grille. It looks really nice. It's just right. And I am glad that it has the body molding down here as it does. It's not too big, it's not too small, it fits. Being a flat black seems to fit here. Sometimes gloss black looks better, but being flat black definitely fits on this particular vehicle. And there are a few different ways you can open the rear door, but I'll just show you with the button on the door itself. It is a power rear lift gate, and your cargo numbers range between 30.7 and 80.3 cubic feet. And here are your releases right here. I'm going to put that seat all the way down, and I'm going to leave that one up for just a second because there is something I want to show that might be of interest. When you put the seat back up, let's see if I can do this one-handed. There we go. Notice where it sits right here compared to the other. Those are reclinable seats, so that is obviously a good thing. Towing comes in at 2,000 pounds, and you do have a 12-volt power outlet right here. We'll lift the floor up so you can see there is a spare tire underneath, because you might have noticed there was no spare tire under the vehicle when we did the undercarriage shot. Now, one thing that you might notice here, boy, that door is awfully low. Let me show you how to fix that. I'm going to raise it all the way up, as high as it will go. We're going to hold this button down and listen for the beeps. Now we'll close the rear door. So I'm going to show you how you can change the height. That's what we're doing right here. So you noticed how low it was earlier when I opened it. Now you're going to notice that it opens all the way up to its full capacity from where we changed it from earlier, just so you can see how that works. And in case you were saying, Tom, you haven't shown us the remote yet. Usually by this point in the video, you have. Well, here is the remote. And you might wonder, what are these two buttons for right here? Well, let's do this. I'm going to show you how to use Remote Smart Park Assist. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock the vehicle first, make sure it's locked, and then we're going to hit the button down here to start the vehicle. And then I'm going to hold down this button that has the down arrow and watch what happens. Now we'll go the other way. Let's do this. Here we go. Bring it towards us and watch. It's going to actually drive up to me, and it senses that I'm standing here, and it's going to stop. So we'll let it keep going just so you can kind of see what happens there with it. I'm going to hold the button down again. It's going to start moving. So a pretty neat little feature that you can use in a multitude of different ways if you have some bad drivers that maybe park too close to you and it's hard to get in and out of the vehicle. I'm going to take the remote out so you can just see what happens here. And you pretty much have to be within, about a car length of the vehicle for it to work. In fact, I'll start walking backwards just so you can see when it stops. There we go. It stopped right there. And we'll walk back up and let it move up to the curb and just park a little bit closer. Maybe not too close, but we'll just let you see that. But that's how that feature works. It's pretty cool. How safe is this remote park assist system? Well, I'm going to find out. Let's see. Fingers still on the button. And taking a look here at the rear doors, you're going to see the nice contrast that's here, nice materials. Everything is high end here, that's for sure. Maybe not the largest door bins we've ever seen, but there is enough room in there for a decent sized bottle. Either way, and here are the rear air conditioning vents. Let me close that door one more time. The rear air conditioning vents can allow plenty of air back here for rear seat passengers and dual USB ports. Still waiting to see 3 show up in these vehicles because there is room for 3 people back here. Got the map nets of a sort. That's really more of a net material than a pocket, but you kind of get the idea there. And you might wonder, where's all that extra light coming from? We have a panoramic sunroof here. Keep in mind, all of this for under $40,000, but we're not finished yet. We're going to hop up there and take a look at the front seat and see what all you can find there as the driver. And here on the limited trim level, you do have a nice elegant look throughout the interior, including the design of these front seats, nice and comfortable. They're heated and ventilated, so that's always a good thing. If you look at the design of the doors here, it flows right into the air conditioning vent and throughout the rest of the dashboard, looking very nice. You're going to have all your typical features and functionality over here for controlling everything throughout the vehicle. And then a very nice looking instrument cluster. And you might say to yourself, well, man, that's just not quite sporty enough for me. Well, that's okay, because right down here is the mode selector. Let's see what happens when you change modes. We're going to go into Sport right there, and then you also have Smart. Sport, definitely the most sporty looking, that's for sure. And I really like what Hyundai has done here with the design of the steering wheel. It just looks right. The way everything is designed here, it's not just your typical round steering wheel. The steering wheel mounted controls, you're going to have those paddle shifters up there for when you're feeling sporty and want to drive in sport mode and use the paddle shifters to gear up and down through that 8-speed automatic transmission. And you also have the start-stop button right there for the engine, and right here the controls for the window wipers, the windshield and rear window wipers. And over here is the blinker lever. For those of you who don't know how that works, you push it into the up position when you're turning right or changing lanes to the right, and the same thing into the down position when you're changing to the lanes to the left or turning to the left. And here's a really good reason to do that. Check this out. You have the side view cameras on those side view mirrors that give you a glance into your blind spot in the appropriate place there on the dashboard when you are changing lanes. That just looks fantastic, that's for sure. And the infotainment screen here, you not only have a 10.25-inch instrument cluster, but also a 10.25-inch infotainment screen chocked full of great information. I'm going to put the 8-speed transmission in reverse and let you see the rear view camera. You have multiple cameras. That overhead 360-degree view camera as well. It gives you a live view of what's going on around you. Everything looks great. Easy to see what's going on around you. Easy to use. Easy to learn for those who have maybe never had this kind of technology before. And then down here, you're going to have some connectivity. And you might wonder, well, wait a minute, I don't see a wireless charging pad. It's not right here, it's actually right here. Let me demonstrate with my phone. Hopefully you can see that come on. There we go, you can see that my phone is now charging. Tell me what you think, folks. Do you like the push button shifter here? Not hard to use, not hard to learn, but I know a lot of people would rather have the traditional style shifter right here, or even the column shifter. Cup holders right there, and then we're going to see our center console right here. If I can open that up, there we go. Pretty decent amount of space in there. You can't really see down in there very well, but there is a lot of space. There we go. I'll show you. My hand goes pretty far down there. And just a quick look around. Everything you would expect to find here. And here is the control for the power shade up there for the sunroof, for that panoramic sunroof, or you can open the sunroof as well. It slides open. So quite a bit going on. But I talked earlier about the fact that this Tucson has a smooth, comfortable ride. Why don't we get out on the road and see how true that really is? Okay, we're out on the test drive, and let's see. I do need to make one change here. I'm going to go into sport mode. I really like the fact that you've got those side view cameras, the side view mirror cameras, to let you see what's going on, even though in this case it was not important, but you can see what's going on in your blind spot when you're driving down the road. And there are potential issues with having someone in your blind spot. And you know what, just to be nice, I'm going to clean the windshield off for everybody real quick, because I notice it looks like it needs to be cleaned. So hopefully that gives you a little bit better view. The ride quality here in the Tucson is definitely solid. It's great. And when I say solid, I don't mean that it's harsh and firm. I mean that it's actually very enjoyable. And that's coupled with these comfortable front seats that I mentioned earlier. That definitely makes a difference. And some people might say 190 horsepower is just not quite enough. Well, let's find out. It's not going to snap your neck back, but it's definitely going to have no trouble getting up to speed. And I'm just doing that, I'm in sport mode, so not in the absolute, or I am in the best mode possible for getting the RPMs up as quick as possible. But you can go into normal mode. In fact, let's do that. I'm going to go back into normal here. Let's go through this corner up here, because that's one thing about a soft suspension that's comfortable for ride quality. Well, it doesn't corner quite as well, but that's okay. So we're going to drop down a little bit in speed here, and then we're going to hit the pedal again and see how it does. That actually seemed to accelerate better in normal mode than it did in sport mode. I don't know if it's just because I was rolling at about 40 miles an hour there, but that's kind of an interesting thing. Nice, comfortable leather-wrapped steering wheel here. You've got the wonderful 10.25-inch touchscreen here. with all that information you need. You can see that it has maps built in, which we talked about that earlier. It is kind of funny that on here it says navigation and maps, or nav, and so when you hit that nav button, you might initially think it's going to take you to maps, but it doesn't. Just kind of interesting that that would be there. Navigation is more for navigating through the touch screen, is what that is. But even going through the corner here, I'm a tiny bit under the speed limit. Still, body roll somewhat minimal. Not too bad for having such a smooth ride quality. The brake pedal seems to be very manageable. I like that. The gas pedal as well. So sometimes you don't think about that kind of thing until you hop into a car and start driving it. But overall, I really like what Hyundai has done here with this Tucson. This particular generation in its second year, 2022 being a full redesign model. Hyundai definitely stepped outside of the box compared to what they did with more of a kind of play it safe manner of method in the past. Not doing that anymore. They've done a great job here. Everything looks modern. It looks sporty. It gives you a nice, comfortable ride quality. Everything just seems to be right here. So tell me down in the comments what you think. Do you get more than you pay for with the 2023 Hyundai Tucson Limited? Sure like that color. And the Smart Park Assist feature. That is just really cool. So I gotta say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Hyundai for loaning me this Tucson for the day, and all of you for giving me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to know about other models you may consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.